I started off as a driver, just like most people in the transportation industry, until I discovered and realized how much money was actually being made in the Uber Black business. That's when I decided to turn it up a notch. Instead of driving for someone else for the rest of my life, I decided to get in the Uber Black business and start my own fleet and give others the opportunity to do the same thing. And in this video, I'm gonna go over how I got my first fleet vehicle, how I financed it, and what it cost me, literally. I started off driving Uber Black for myself because I wanted to see the actual earning potential. I wanted to see how much you can actually make per day and also per week. So that's what I did for the next couple months. I started driving for myself. And I realized it was actually opportunity. It was good money you can make per day that no corporate job will pay you unless you're a doctor or lawyer. While I was driving, I also documented my journey on TikTok, and I got crazy engagement. A lot of people asking me questions about the Uber Black business. So that's when light bulb went off. Why not help other people and rent out vehicles to them to help them get started instead of staying behind the wheel driving myself? So I started thinking long term, how to build a fleet and how to help other people. The first car I decided to add to my fleet was this 2021 black on black Land Range Rover. And the reason I decided to add it to my fleet was because it was under 40K. Yeah, you heard me, under 40K. Not only that, but who wouldn't want to ride in a Range Rover? This car blacked out, it's on Boston wheels, dark 5% tint, you can't see inside, just 10 out of 10. But this car only qualifies for Uber Black. It does not qualify for Black SUV, which that's where I made my first mistake in the Uber Black business. I bought a vehicle, my first ever vehicle for this business, that wasn't a good vehicle. Whenever you're in the Uber Black business, you want a big SUV, not a small body SUV. Now this car still treated me well because the looks of it helped me build a private clientele. Some people here in the city love being driven around in a Land Range Rover. So it still worked out for me, but the lesson I learned was, hey, do not buy a small SUV. If you want to succeed, I'm talking about be super successful in this business, go with a big body SUV. So for the Range Rover, I didn't cash it out. I actually financed it through business credit. At the time of trying to purchase the vehicle, my business was still technically new. It was under 2 years. And if you try to finance anything under business credit and the LLC hadn't been older than 2 years, it's going to be hard to get approved. So long story short, I ended up having to be the co-signer for my LLC. Like, I had good personal credit. My credit score at that time was 788. So I ended up co-signing for my LLC, got approved, and walked off the lot with a Land Range Rover at the age of 25. After that, my payments, or during that process, my payments was $703 monthly. At the time, that was my first big purchase. Like, I never spent that much money on a car ever. And I think still now, I mean, in the moment it didn't hit me, and now it still don't hit me, like, or it hadn't hit me. Like, my mindset is just like, this was the start of something that could potentially be big for the future. Before I even got into the Uber Black business, started a fleet, became a driver, I had already established my LLC 2 years before. When I was 23, I was making good money being a truck driver. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. This is not my end all be all. I want to start a business eventually. So I started researching about LLCs and stuff like that. And I decided, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. My mind was leaning towards real estate. But at the time, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start an LLC, get a business checking account, give me a business credit card, and start building that up while I figure out what I want to do. Which, fast forward 2 years later, I ran across the Uber Black business. So I had already pre-established my LLC before actually trying to purchase something under that LLC. So when it came to purchasing the Range Rover at the dealership, before I actually bought the car, I called up my insurance company, which was Progressive. I wanted to see how much commercial insurance would cost me for one vehicle because I knew at the time commercial insurance was very expensive. So I'm like, okay, let me call, get a quote. And before I bought it, they gave me a good, reasonable price, which that sealed the deal for me. And I ended up buying my first vehicle for my fleet. As an Uber Black driver, it's very risky to drive without commercial insurance. It's a huge liability because you're carrying around passengers that at any given moment, something could happen to where if you get in an accident, you hit somebody, somebody hits you, that's a huge liability that you can get sued, and the person that hit you could get sued. Or if you hit somebody, they can sue you. So you want to make sure you protect it at all times. So I didn't rent out my cars right away. I actually started myself. So in 1 month, I tested the Uber Black market myself as a driver, seen the results, seen the potential. Then month 2, I bought another SUV for my partner to quit her job and come drive with me. So me and her driving combined, we made good money, and we drove for months. And the reason I wanted to drive first was to actually see the potential. Like, is this a good business? Could people actually make money doing this? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And that's when I bought more SUVs down the line. Now, when it came to renters, I didn't get my first renter till this past May. Like I said, I drove for 8 months myself before I actually got my first renter. He came along. I got him on the Uber Fleet website. It's like a program you upload your cars to for people that want to drive your car. So I uploaded my cars. He inquired on it, called him, and within 2 weeks got him in a vehicle. First week profit off that renter was $1,200, but he only lasted for 1 week. He ended up damaging my vehicle, leaving me with an $1,800 bill to get it fixed. What surprised me most about this guy was I trusted him, gave him the benefit of the doubt, and it ended up costing me, which changed my view. It's like, you can't feel sorry for people. You can't give people the benefit of the doubt, because if you do that starting off, eventually they're gonna come with more problems whenever you're doing business with them. If you're thinking about starting a rideshare fleet, this business has money in it, no doubt, but it also comes with risk. Start smart, protect yourself, and learn from the ones that already been through it all. That way you avoid mistakes. If this helped you, drop a like, also subscribe to the channel. And if you need help building a private clientele, come join my community, the Luxury Driver Network. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next video.